All right, Andrew, we back. We live now, man. Hey, real quick, how was your day?
Just barely make it in just now.
Yeah.
Tell him I'm on the computer looking at some of the stuff that you sent me.
All right. Well, we'll start the show. Introduce myself. I'm Savon Smith, founder of Savon's Academy Stars, founder of this organization, Founding Players, which is our YouTube channel. And I work with children, been doing it for a number of years. And now I'm, doing investments so I can build up some funds for, my organization so I can get back to, the children. So that's brief tonight. Not going to get too deep. So I'll just briefly introduce myself. Your turn, Mr. Andrew.
Excellent.
Huh?
You can't hear me?
No.
Can't hear me?
I heard that.
But it's good now, right?
Breaking up a little bit. Well, you're gonna have to talk for a while for me to even know.
How about this? Better?
Yes, I heard that.
Andrew Jackson, home improvement contractor. Basically, your house. Body out there in the house built up.
There's a lot of delay. You may have to just go to the phone. There's a lot of delay.
I'm on the phone right.
Oh, well, I'm not sure. There's a lot of delay. Mhm. Your mic is muted.
Still getting the delays?
Sounds like it.
Oh. You're coming in pretty good over here.
Mhm.
Maybe I should like sign out and sign back.
Yeah, try to do that. Mhm. A little bit of technical difficulties with the mic, with the sound. Your mic is muted.
There you go. That's better?
I'm hearing, but you know, like Mike, you would have to be talking for a little while.
Is that better?
You would have to be talking. Let's get into the introduction so we can see if it's gonna work.
Okay. All right, Andrew Jackson, home improvement contractor. They do pretty much anything that you can name it with a house. Right here. About it. Let's get in.
It was sounding good, but then it went away. The good went away. Man, difficulty tonight, huh?
Yeah. Anything better?
Yeah, when you were talking, it was good, but then all of a sudden it just went out.
You hearing me any at all? Though?
Now I'm hearing you. It's just in and out. See, you said
If
something.
I talk louder, can you hear me when I talk louder?
I don't think it has anything to do with the louder. I see your mouth moving and I'm not hearing anything. So I don't think it has anything to do with being louder.
So there's a massive delay there.
Probably, yeah. Are you running a number of devices at the same time?
My phone is running on its own thing, so let me just check. Maybe if I go on the Wi-Fi. Better?
Hey, you ever sing before, Andrew?
Long time ago. I don't have the voice anymore.
saying it once or twice ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna
No,
know.
like it's like a mic check. It's like a mic check, and the better, then you can say yeah or no because if I keep talking, is it any better though? Like based on what you hear before or what you keep hearing, like when I talk.
Yeah, I'm hearing more now. There's more words coming out of your mouth now.
No, but what I'm saying to you, say you're getting like you was getting a delay first and all of that stuff. So I wanted to know and if it was better, like with the volume or whatever it is, because you say talking louder, you wasn't hearing me before.
See, that's enough right there to know that it's working now.
Oh,
Yeah. So you had to put together some words for me to know, is this thing really working? So yeah, it's working now.
no, well, when you say you wasn't hearing me, I was just saying like those words. So if you can't hear me, you say yes, but you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this talk. Let's get into what's happening now that we got that situated and we can both hear each other well because we want to make sure everybody else can hear us well. All right. Well, let's talk. Have you done anything today? Today's Monday, first day on the stock market. We had our little seminar yesterday. Have you done anything today?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't do not one thing today.
All right. So
Couple things I inquire about some stuff that I need to get in place, start doing, need to do pertaining to buying stuff. Now, with my account and stuff like that, I didn't pull the trigger any kind of purchasing. And,
I didn't hear that. It was in and out again right there.
um, I didn't do anything today. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just repeat what you just said.
Yeah. So today it was very extremely busy for me today. So all I did today was checked into moving around some funds to start doing pertaining to buying stocks and stuff like that. That's what I checked into today.
Okay.
Yeah, not to you know, to pull the trigger on doing anything pertaining to like purchasing, but like to set up my stuff so I can, start doing the purchases.
Okay.
And then when I came home, I was looking at a lot of stuff that we discussed last night. I
Mm.
didn't go to bed until like 2 o'clock. I was working last night. I go to bed. I had to get up at 6, so there was a lot. But yeah, like I was doing a little bit of research too. So trust me, I don't think there's only few things I've ever do in my life that I feel like positive about.
Mm.
This is like one of them. Like when I got my first business up and running,
Mm.
this is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna accomplish something, but it's up to you to work as hard on it to make you see some kind of fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? So I am very committed to doing this. Because I'm even today I'm planning out my whole week. I never come home this early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never come home this early. So I'm planning out my week. Like I really want to stop working now at like 3 o'clock every day so I can plan what I need to plan moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I did today. I shuffle around a couple of things and write down some things and figure some other stuff out. So, I can plan to take care of this, because this need time, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Today was busy for me as well. But what I learned is even when you're busy, you have to find the time, for what's bringing you, that money because we're all here to try and make that money, and we're making money in all different ways. So you're making money with your business and you want to invest and make money, through investing. So kind of like I have to juggle to make sure we find a time to accomplish all, all the above. So today, even though I was busy, what I did was, and I have a little bit more experience than you, so when it comes
Mhm.
to the stock market, so I can definitely, you know, get in, get out where I can, where I'm busy, but I'm still maneuvering, but you'll learn that,
Yeah, yeah,
as time goes, you'll learn that. So today, what I did was paid a lot of attention to SOS, because I spoke about it on here yesterday. So,
uh, I just had it up on the computer screen.
mm,
Yeah, I just had it up.
all right, give me a second, and
Like for your SO, like you're going into SOS, like where are you going into like a research area right now? Or are you going to where you're stuck?
I'm going to where what?
Like we're gonna be talking about SOS, right? Right?
SOS.
Yeah, but are you going into like a research part of it now? Or are you going to discuss like your portfolio?
No, I'm just going to discuss that specific stock.
All right, so all right, we pull up.
All right. Give me a second though. Let me go over this disclaimer.
Mm. Yep, yep.
All right. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment and education purposes only. This video is not financial advice. You can lose money investing into the stock market. You are liable for any losses that you incur from investing in the stock market. I shall not be held liable for any losses you may incur while investing or trading on the stock market. Contact a licensed financial professional in your area for professional advice. Just wanted to get that out there. Okay, so I'm back. So anything that I share is basically my opinion
Yep.
and invest at your own risk. All right, it's up to you. I mean, you can pull it up while I, talk
Yeah,
about it.
I have it up already. I'm looking at it right. It says
I just want to
today.
mention, what I said about it yesterday, kind of like was judging to see what it was going to do today. And the reason why I was able to judge is because, of cryptocurrency, it's a mining company,
Yeah,
so based off of the production of what the cryptocurrency is doing, you can kind of judge what the stock may or may not do, and you have to factor in a lot of other aspects as well. But I'm basing it off of my expertise of what it would do. That's why I say it may go up, it may go down. But my first initial comment was it will go up, and that's because the crypto was performing well. But then there was a pullback, So with that pullback, it caused the stock to, drop a little, went up a little, and it was back and forth like a seesaw today.
yeah. Like today, I'm looking at it right, right, and I'm
Hmm.
seeing like today it went up, went down, went up back, came down, went up, and it started dropping down. I mean, for most of the day.
Yeah, it's volatile because that's what cryptocurrency is pretty much doing. So, it's going to do that. So if it's going up, 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 it's going to go up, 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 up. If it's going
Mm.
back and forth, it's going to do the same thing. Similar. Like I said, there's a lot of other factors to factor in as well. Because um, it's a mining company, but there's a lot of factors. But I kind of gauge what it was going to do based off of the performance from the cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
So basically, the new technology, blockchain, the new financial system, it's part of the new technology. So we want to jump, onto that, and pay attention and do our research in that department. The new change that's happening, that's one new change that's happening. And we want to definitely do our research. That way we know which stock that we need to invest in. You know,
Mhm.
the research is definitely going to get you to understand more about the stocks that you want to invest in. And when you're knowledgeable
Mhm.
about a stock or a company that you're buying stock in, you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable because of that research and understanding that stock, or that company. And that's basically what I do. I try my best to understand the
Mhm.
company that I'm investing in. So if I'm investing in Tesla, I have to really fully understand what Tesla is all about. I got to understand their financials. I got to understand their business model. I got to understand their plan for their future. I have to understand it all. So when if there's a new company that I want to invest in, a lot of times I reach out to Alan,
Mhm.
after like researching the stock, and I'll share it with Alan. And when I share it with Alan, I know Alan's going to do his research before he actually invests in it,
Mhm.
because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing, and it's entertaining, to be honest, to be able to search and find the news on companies. That way you can grab a hold of that information and inquire more, and learn before you actually put your money down. Then when you
Yeah.
put your money down, you have that belief that the stock's going to perform well, you know. And patience is important. If you know that a stock is going to perform well, you don't have to be in any rush. Just invest your money and use patience.
Yeah.
Like SOS, you just got to be patient with it, because that financial system is not fully implemented yet. So you just have to use patience.
All right. Question. Like when you just started, what was your approach when you just started?
Okay. When it was introduced to me by one of my business partners. His
Mm.
name is Edwin. Edwin told me about the stock market, a while back, and I knew about it, but I just was never interested. But
Mm.
um, what what I did was I learned from Ed. So Edwin did research to help me. So I counted on his research. Then once he did his research and told me or gave me information, I went off of his information and did my own research as well. So let's use Square, for instance. When I
Mm.
got into the stock market, this is what I did. He mentioned Square, that he thought it would be a good investment, for me.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of small companies before we started talking about Square. But Square kind of helped me to understand more about what I'm investing in when I'm investing in a company. So because of my basketball program that I've been running for years, I have
Mm.
to take payments from parents. So
Yeah.
I've always had Square.
Okay.
You stick it in your phone and you just swipe the credit card. So that's a payment system that I've been using, a form of payment that I've been using for years. So now when my friend was telling me about investing in Square, I was very familiar with it.
Okay.
Now when I figure out that they were part of the new blockchain technology, or they're adapting to the new blockchain technology, then I started to think for myself, and I said, you know what?
Mm.
That's out with the old, in with the new. That means they're jumping on to the changes that's happening, and giving people the option to buy Bitcoin on their platform. You know,
Yeah.
then I come to realize, after doing research, which a lot of people may have not known, that Square owns Cash App.
Oh,
So
really?
a lot of people have
That's
Cash App.
news to me. Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So that's the great thing about doing research, is like when you are researching, you are going to find things out.
Mm.
So it was exciting news for me to know
Mhm.
that Square owns Cash App because I use Cash App quite often, you know.
Mhm.
So while I'm using Square and I'm using Cash App, I didn't even know Square and Cash App was connected.
Where is where is Cash App headquarters?
I don't know where Cash App headquarters is, and I don't know where Square headquarters is. That I did not research,
Okay.
but that's really quickly. You can ask Google that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's but getting back to what I was saying is like it was exciting to know that Cash App, was owned by Square because I was using both, and both are my popular platforms that I use, for payment.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. So with that being said, I started like really researching more into the blockchain technology because Square at the time was 100 and something dollars when he told me about it. And I always set a limit for myself that I was only going to buy stocks that was under $50 because I was saying I needed to buy enough shares, to make a difference, for my portfolio to make a difference. I did not want to buy anything $100, $200 that was just going to ride up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I was buying stocks like that, which you make those type of mistakes. Everything is a learning curve. So, I made certain mistakes of buying a stock for 200, a stock for 300, and come to realize, okay, this for me does not make sense. Well, for me personally, it does not make sense. So I started researching a little bit of smaller um, costs, per share. And then I come to realize as long as it's a good company and they're trading at a smaller cost, you have a better upside, you know. So that's how I
Because
taught
with that
myself.
with that said, not to cut you, like with those, there's possibility of more growth, right?
Well, don't get it, don't get me wrong. There's great possibilities of growth even if a stock is $200. It's just a matter of how many shares can you afford. Because you could buy a $200 stock and it goes to $500. That's a big gain. So it depends on how many shares of that you can purchase though. But I will say this: if I put $300 in the bank, it's going to remain $300 for quite some time. So if I can buy a stock for $300 and make $50, it goes up to $350, man. Even if I did that for the year, that's a growth. That's a growth. So I would not say not to invest in expensive stocks because they can still go up. I
No,
would
but the
not
thing is,
say not to invest in Google. It can still go up.
yeah, it depends on how your finances is, though, too, you know what I mean? Because the way you're saying it, so that's kind of a way to where you can spread your wings more based on what you have, you know what I mean? And get into more stuff based on your research and be patient.
Mhm.
Because if you really think about it, if you say you have your money in the bank, as you say, right?
Yeah.
No matter how patient you are, is whatever interest they want to give you on that. And it's not much.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? You don't have no choice with your money in the bank. Because guess whatever interest they're gonna give you on it, that's what it's gonna be. So
Hmm.
when you invest now, it's all up to you now, like how much you want to invest and what you want to invest in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like your money just sitting in the bank and it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there basically for somebody else to be using it to do whatever they want to do, but you're not really benefiting.
True indeed. Yep. True indeed, man. You have to benefit, and if you're not benefiting, then you should not be doing that. And over the years, it weren't really a popular thing to teach people, like how to manage their money. A lot of times you just got to learn how to manage it on your own, and that's not usually going to turn out so good when you're trying to manage your money on your own. Usually you're going to need some kind of advice from someone who knows, how to manage their money. It doesn't have to be like a professional advisor. Sometimes the best person or people to teach you are the people that's closest to you, who have the experience of how to spend money, or maybe somebody has lost, like if you're a young person, like for instance, I use my experience. If I'm young, well, let's just say I remember being younger and spending money a certain way where you're like, man, I wish I didn't do that, and a lot of times you come back and, you're saying, man, I'm doing the same thing again in my adult life, because it's like that practice makes permanent, so you're kind of permanently making mistakes, and with money. And a lot of people do that in general. This YouTube channel is about financial literacy, but overall it's literacy period. We need to be knowledgeable right across the board, and finance come to play because no matter how smart we may be, 85% of our population is doing a lot of dumb things. It's just real facts. If you don't talk to 10 people, you may get 3 people who understand the world that we're living in. And out of the 3 people, there might be one person who really truly understand what it takes to have success while living. So just imagine 70 to 80% or 85% of people just are just living life. You use party, for instance. If I sound funny because I'm a little bit cold.
Me too, yeah. I'm sitting here. I came home and for some reason I know the heat was the reset, but it went down to like 65 and it got colder outside. I had to reset it. And then when I came in, I had to turn it up, but it's getting warmer now,
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm a little cold, man. So I feel like my voice trembling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I grew up in New York and got used to the cold, but man, living in Florida, trust me, when I get cold, it's like shivering, man. It's like,
Your body, it's a different thing. Like we haven't had any cold weather like this for a long time.
yeah.
Mhm. Um, the thing is that I think the world, right,
Mm,
getting more and more impatient. Everybody wants everything fast. So with that, people don't. Everybody just quick. I mean, everything fast, instant, instant. So nobody don't want to take the time to sit down with their money grow. They want to throw it into something fast. I mean, and quick turnaround.
mm,
But when you're patient, it comes with discipline. Because when you get that money quick, you're gonna want to spend it quick because you think you can get it back quick again. You know what I mean? So people don't have patience to say, well, let me wait, you know, suffer a little bit for the greater good. You know, trying to be like everything these days not be like easy come, easy go, quick come, quick go. You look at how people operate now. Nobody has patience. I'm looking at it even lately. Nobody don't stop at stoplights anymore. They will come and they look and they just drive right through it. Like no patience. Like you take your extra 2 seconds, you stop there, you wait till the light change. You're driving through the red light, like it's okay. Huh? The world is just turning into this. Everybody's just so impatient now, and it's sad to see that, you know what I mean? Because those people that does stuff like that, they're gonna have kids and their kids are gonna have kids, you know what I mean? So it's a difficult process to like feel like grown people just do some stuff sometimes. You have to wonder like, damn, yo, this is what we're heading towards? And you know, even growing up, looking back at some stuff, you could have seen it coming from back in the days. You know what I mean? You have like a few people, but more people was more patient back then. You know what I mean? Because it was forced upon them from back in slavery days, coming up, you know what I mean? Not having anything and just have to do the bare minimum to survive. But everybody know one stuff that basically they can't afford and they see that other people have, and they have to figure out a way to get it because they don't want to be patient anymore. You know what I mean? It's very difficult, man. So, you know, all we have to do, anybody out there who listening, just have to just grind it out and just teach who we have to teach. And hopefully a lot of people grasp what we're saying. And, you know, not that don't mean our way is the way, but there's common things in life, you know, having patience, deal with people like how you want them to deal with you. You know, those things will always work, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, I always equal what's happening to just growth. You know, when you start your business, you want to see growth. So where we're coming from, you know, we kind of see where we're going, and we're seeing that right now because where we came from a slow grind. You know, we were able to instill a little bit of thinking before we act. You know, that's our time. So we're able to put something great together because the thought, you know, and we made it look good before it was actually put out there. You know, we had time to think about it. But, you know, it's really not like that no more because like everything is faster now and, you know, technology is making that happen. You know, let's use the coronavirus for instance. You know, everybody got caught up or gets caught up in, hey, they're creating that vaccine too fast. You know, but when you look at life, it's like with a lot of the things that's happening and causing people suffering, you know, all the disease that's out there, you know, they might have to create a system that is faster to be able to save people's lives a little quicker. You know, back in the days we had beeper. You know, if somebody needed you and you're miles away, you know, whether it's to walk, me and you used to walk home, you know, and that's didn't seem long to us because in our time that we had the patience to be able to talk and walk and even stop and play before we get home, you know. So patience, we had it because in our time, that's what we were doing to have our fun. We weren't rushing to go do anything because every step of the way we could actually stop and play.
Yeah.
You know, so if it took us an hour, 2 hours to get home, we did so many things before we got home. And then when
Yeah.
we got home, we still got into other things. So, you know, our day was a long day because I remember back in the days, it seems like time was flying. I mean, time was slow, I should say.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
get older and you're like, where's the time going? That's
Yeah.
because we weren't really thinking of time back then. We were just having fun. So, you
Mhm.
know, walking home long miles, hours, whatever it take us to get home wasn't we weren't thinking about, yo, how far we'll go. We weren't
Yeah.
thinking about that.
So if
You
you look at the distance, I even go back there and I look at the distance. It's not really close, you know. You
know?
know, I mean, it's a couple good miles.
Yeah, we
You
walked
know,
it. We
yeah,
walked.
and these kids now they don't walk. You go to Jamaica, they don't walk anymore. Taxi running everywhere. You know what I mean? And if you really think about it, that's you look at it. That used to be yeah, like a little exercise not consciously thinking about it, but you're walking to school, walking back, you know what I mean? You're getting your exercise, but everything changed now, man. It's like, I always think what it's going to be like, I would say another 20 years from now. I mean,
Well,
because if you really look back, it's not too long ago, things was like a certain kind of way where, things was different. So,
mhm.
and it's even changing faster now. You know what I mean? Things are changing so much faster now. It's crazy.
But you know what, Andrew? I'm okay with it. I'll tell you why I'm okay with it, because this opportunity is up on us right now, and people are making money faster than before.
Yes.
The
Yes.
num the what back in the days when we were growing up and our parents had to wait 10, 20 years, for your investment to manifest itself, a couple of years ago, those years started lessening. And right now, you don't have to hold your stuff for 10 years. I mean, it's good to invest long term, and you're still going to have the stocks that is going to
Yes.
take some time, but it's not the same anymore. And the same way the companies have to adapt to the new system, I think, we have to adapt to what's going on, whether we like it or not.
Mhm.
Because guess what? From the day I landed on Earth, I was imperfect. I came out crying, I'm sure. I came out crying.
Mhm.
So I was imperfect, so men or women cannot really govern themselves. So we can expect no miracles. We just can expect to try our best, pray and do the best we can. That's all we can do, because no matter what the world turns into, no matter what people in the world, I should say, because the world is a beautiful place. The people that's in it is what makes up the things that's happening in the world. So we are imperfect, man. The best thing that we could do is just live life the best way that we can. Um, be careful. There's good, bad, and the evil. So we're amongst it in this by being in this world. So you just got to pay attention to who's around us. Put good people around you. So that's the way I look at it, man. The changes are going to happen, and you really can't stop it. The only thing you could do is create programs like I've done to be able to keep kids out of trouble, because no matter what's going on right now with my program, kids are staying busy, and then some kids are choosing not to do programs and they're not staying busy. But that's all you could do, give them things to do. That's what we're here on the YouTube doing right now. It's like we're doing something. We could be doing something different, but we're right here reminiscing, we're doing something.
The thing what I realized when change happen, like world is changing, force you to change certain things. If you don't move with change, you're gonna get there.
Hmm.
And I realized some stuff that I used to do, I stopped doing it. But not that I don't help a lot of people anymore, but it's changing into a world where a lot of people is not helpful anymore. They're not helpful. So you can't be the one just running around helping everybody. And then no, if you need help, there's no one there for you. Like even people used to help people cross the street, bring their groceries, go check on them. Nobody do anything like that anymore. You know what I mean? But you're not going to be totally changed like everybody else, but it forces you to make some changes in your life to adapt to whatever is going on right now. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit more conservative because then no, you can't just keep doing the same old because you're getting older. And then now, if you just keep just giving yourself away like that, then you're not gonna have nothing left. You know what I mean? So you have to conserve and be smart. You know, like even with this thing now, investing. Like as you said, when I was younger, you do stupid things. You know, I spend thousands of dollars on stuff that, you know, looking at it, it was more of a fun thing back then to spend the money because you're not thinking about it. When you're younger, you're not thinking about like, you know, you think about your future and maybe think about it for a couple minutes and then, you know, you're just, you know, thinking about having fun and doing stuff that you love to do. But looking back then, and you can't say you wish you was smart like how you was now because it's life experience that bring you to this point now. You know, I mean, everything that you go through in life bring you to this point. But at some point though, you have to get smart about life because some people don't, you know, they still just want to live the same way from they were younger until when they get older, they still want to do the same thing. But you have to make changes or else, you know, life is going to be dreadful because your body start breaking down, you know what I mean? Stuff start falling apart. You can't see as good, you know. You know, you start feeling pain in places that, you know, because you work harder and you some of the time you think you can still do some stuff that you could do when you were younger and you can't do it, you know. So you have to figure out ways out to be more like preserve your body more. As you said, I even the other night when you say you stop eating certain things, right? I I didn't stop it, but for like a good couple years now, I want to stop eating meat, right? Um, my eating habits is not bad, but you gotta look at, you know, how to maintain your body. Because everybody love think that medication is the key to everything. It's not. You know what I mean? Because even back then, growing up, how much time we went to the doctor?
Zero.
Exactly. I remember when I just came here, I didn't go to the doctor for 10 years.
Mhm.
10 years and I didn't have to go to the doctor for nothing. I never went there for nothing. 10 years. And yeah, the first time I got sick, I was like, damn, yo, you know what I mean? Back then, and I wasn't even taking care of my body then. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But after a while, it's a buildup of not taking care of yourself that make you crash. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of changes that come across, like even back home, like look now, everything we do now, we jump in our car. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, then we used to walk a lot. You walk to go check your friend, them go see stuff, go do stuff. But now, out of the house into the car, boom, boom, boom. You get no kind of exercise. You know, so you just have to make changes to adapt to everything. And in the meantime, you gotta take care of yourself because if you don't, all of this stuff that you're doing is for nothing. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to create all of these things to have wealth, and then no, you're not taking care of your body, what's the sense? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Be taking care of your body so you can enjoy your life. Like I always say to people, like this thing where you know government set or your retirement age, right? These guys in Congress and in Senate, right? They're always on vacation. They don't do much because a lot of people only see them or when they have to vote on something. They have assistants that have assistant that, you know what I mean? When them done for the day, they go play golf. We can't do that. We have to be working to save our money to go do stuff. But they're the one who set age for you to retire. Oh, you want to retire. And every minute something happens, they have to set the retirement age further because there's no money in social security and all of that stuff, right?
Mhm.
So you think about it. If you're the kind of person who work to retire and then the retirement age is so high, by the time you finish working for retire, you know, you're really not gonna get much, right?
Mhm.
Then you have one foot in the grave already, you know?
Mhm.
So you gotta look at, like, I try to tell people, don't try and set up yourself with something else, and don't look towards working and thinking about social security. Set up something else for yourself. You know what I mean? Set up something for yourself, because if you don't, then it's gonna be one of them things where your work, we don't know what's gonna happen with our social security years from now. You know what I mean? Because you're not in control of it. This what you're doing investing, you're in control of it. So you're in control of your destiny. You know? Social security, you're not in control of it. It's, they pass the rules, they pass the laws and everything. You cannot even, you don't know, it's bankrupt now. It's basically bankrupt. So what we're paying into it, we're not going to be benefit from it. We're, it's people that's on social security now, we're paying into for them, you know? So
Mhm.
it's not to depend on like retirement through a government system, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, let me grab. I just see my light come up just now that my phone is dying. Let me just grab a charger and come right back here.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter, you see my background yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a picture that I took in Jamaica, right?
Mhm.
But she know more about them Zoom thing and more than me. So she'd be like, Daddy, you want a different background? You want this, you want that? And she's the one who set it up on the computer for me yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
I
But
was
you
trying
don't
to,
have that background now.
huh?
You don't have that background now.
No, because I'm on the phone, but that was on the computer yesterday.
Okay, got you.
So
Um, yeah, to touch on, when you were talking, I wanted to address what you said about you mentioned how some people in Congress are, higher up, they don't really do anything. They probably be golfing and things like that. But what we have to do is educate ourselves, when it comes to financial literacy or just literacy in general. When we started going to school, or for anyone who's sending their kids to school, and for any adult that is going to school, and for any adult that's working, you always can educate yourself. Especially you have tools like YouTube and Google, you always can educate yourself. You can always make mistakes and fix the mistakes that you're making. And you can make new mistakes and still fix those new mistakes. So we can consistently fix ourselves and whatever troubles we have, they all can be fixed. So where I'm getting at is, you have your company, I have my company. Let's use that for instance, because this is literacy. When you create the company, first thing first is you have to protect yourself because it's your company. So you definitely got to come first. So when you have your company, you're either the owner and then you hire a president of the organization, then you hire a vice president, and you have people in line. So if your president is not available and he's playing golf, your vice president can run it for you. It's almost like making your money work for you instead of you working for your money. You deserve this whenever you've done your research and you implement a system of how to get ahead in life. You see how hard life can be. You don't just let it be hard. You
yeah.
have to, give yourself the knowledge by putting these things in place. That's why you have goals. That's why you have mission. That's why you have dreams.
Mm-hmm.
These things aren't to be thrown to the wayside. You have to plan your life out. When they said party, when parties, when I was growing up, there was a reason why you party, because
Mhm.
you had success for something. So a party is supposed to be had because you're actually enjoying yourself for something that you have done.
Mhm.
A party is never really supposed to be let me just party because I want excitement.
Mhm.
So if I accomplished building a company and the company had some success over that month, on the first day of the following month, I can say, hey, workers and everyone that's in the company, we're going to have a party, and all of you are invited to celebrate our accomplishments.
Yeah.
And here's your bonus, and here's your this, and here's your that, to make people feel good. That's a party. You're partying for a reason. A party was never meant to have every day of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's not what you do. I mean, you can't tell people when to have no party, but you
Mhm.
know, people began to party their lives away. So again, the owners, they plan out their lives when they own their own company. Now, there
Mhm.
are good business owners and bad business owners. Some people own a business and don't do anything with it,
Yes.
but in order to be a good business owner, you have to, strategize. You have to have a plan. So now when it comes to the workers that's working for the company, think of this. That's the 85% of the population. Most people just say, I'm gonna, it's pushed that, hey, let's get a job and work. So
Mhm.
majority of people are doing that. So it's very hard for them to find time when you're always at work to be
Yes.
able to do the right things, or even think of, or put yourself in that space where you could think of the things that you need to do to have a successful life. You're just like like party. You're partying your life away. You literally working your life away.
Mhm.
Now, what about the workers that do like the business owners and make sure that they go to work, maybe a 9 to 5, and they still structure the rest of their day because they know they got to come home to their husband, they got to come home to their wives, they got to come home to their kids, and they just make sure they put all their ducks in a row. If a lot of people aren't doing that, you're really going to miss what's going on in this world. There's a lot of distractions. So if you're not educating yourself and putting things in place, to better yourself, to better your life and the people that are around you, like your family,
Mhm.
then the world, or the people running the world, or the governments that's running the countries, they're going to throw things out there at you. The
Mhm.
companies that's being formed, they're going to throw things out there at you to distract you. Their job is to make money.
Yep.
If you want to throw your money, your hard-earned money at them, they'll take it. So if you're not putting your ducks in a row, you're gonna be like going around in a circle and not really getting anywhere. You're just traveling straight around the circle.
Yes.
And that's what's happening for a lot of people. But right now, because of the world changing, you see people are starting to, a lot of people, I should say, are
Mhm.
starting to realize that they need to treat their lives like a business. A lot of people don't think about that. Do we treat our life like a business? It should be ran like a business. When you actually get married, when you
Mhm.
actually have a mate, do you know that you should actually structure your relationship the same way a business is structured? It's not the exact same, but
Mhm.
if you are running a successful business, more times than none, it's because you implement certain things that's making that business run the right way. So now, if you go into a marriage or you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you're not doing the similarity as a business, then how is that marriage or that relationships going to work out? Because I've said to people quite a few times that treat your life, treat your relationship as if it's similar to a business. And the response that you'll get a lot of times is, I'm not doing that because a business is different. A lot of people always have an answer to everything. And when you have an answer to everything and you're not listening,
Yeah.
you're really going around in circles because you're not listening. So I learned that when I started building my business, that you needed to structure your life similar to the way a business is structured.
Mm.
And that's one reason to this day why I take my time, or it took so long. Once I moved on from my relationship, I took some time to just make sure I'm trying my best to learn to do the right thing, choose the right person, because you don't want to go into anything with anyone that you're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Because then when you're not on the same page, you get what's happening now, which is what you're bringing up. Everybody is living a fast-paced life. Everybody is just moving fast, 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 fast. And, it's hard to slow them down because they want it now. But how did that come to be? Because people aren't thinking, what do I need to do to raise my family, teach my kids, hey, slow down for a bit. You see that same fast car that's going 200 miles an hour? You don't have to actually drive it 200 miles an hour. There's just the possibility of driving it that fast if you needed to get away from something. Maybe if you were a police officer and you were chasing somebody, you could drive it that fast. The same phone that you have that has more speed, it was just meant for you to use to get things done a little faster, but you don't have to overdo it. So being that things are more advanced now and a little quicker doesn't mean that you have to speed there. Look at Usain Bolt. You watch him run a race. Depending on the race that he's running, sometimes you see him start slow because why? He knows he's gonna pass you. So he lets you get yourself tired and then he comes and he wins. How many times has he ran where you're looking at him and you're saying, oh my God, he's behind?
Mm-hmm.
By the time you blink your eye, he's not behind. He ran past the whole field.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to slow down and plan, man, and say, you know what, I'm going to win this race. And this is how I'm going to win this race. When you begin to know who you're up against in this race that you're running, you're going to run knowing that you're going to win this race. And if you actually lose that race, you're going to go to the drawing table and be more prepared the next time.
Yes.
And that's basically what life is about. You can have the fast car, but you don't. Guess what? All our cars go, what, 170, 180 miles, 200 miles an hour. But who gets in there and drive it and put their foot on the gas until it can't go no more? Who really does?
Exactly.
Huh?
That's reckless too.
Yeah. So who really does that? What I'm saying? Only somebody that's reckless will do that. Where you can't control, where you get to the point where you floor the gas and you can't control your car.
Can't control it. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Lose control of your life.
Yeah. And people can do that, but not too many people are going to do that because you're going to risk your life. So the technology is there, is big improvement, but doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. We just have to learn how to capitalize on the changes that's happening and trend wisely. Same thing with the internet. We got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got Twitter, but those things can be entertaining, but they don't have to be overdone. They could be entertaining, but if I'm watching a movie, it doesn't mean that I got to watch a movie all day.
Everything have to be an even dose because and you know what? you're gonna find that sometimes you have some bad habits and you have to question yourself to really get out of some things that's affecting your life. Like prime example, you have some stuff that we were taught growing up and you have to really evaluate it and get rid of it. You know what I mean? Because it makes no sense. So some stuff in life will stop you from moving forward based on what you were taught. Some people hang on to some stuff, like they will, learn things from their parents and they will hold on to it till their dying days. And that's what's holding you back. My parents said I'm not supposed to do this because people don't look at some stuff and see how it's affecting their life to like step away from some things and like get it out of their life because that suits your parents. But even for that time when they were living, but you can't be holding on to some things and saying, "Oh, um, my father taught me this, and this is the way." But you got to look at it and be like, "Hold on, this is not doing me no good." You know what I mean? Like you have some people, like like I only can speak about my culture. You have some Jamaican people. Instead of they talk to you, they're quick to cuss you out, but they don't want to hear what you have to say because you will say like a whole sentence to them, and they will pick the one thing out of that sentence. You know what I mean? And don't listen to the rest of what you have to say. You know? And they will take the one thing out of it that hit them, and then they will start cussing you out and be like, "Damn, yo,
Mm.
just listen." You know what I mean? Just listen. Like it's crazy. Like I've been around so much people. Like they will just like take some stuff and they'll run with it, and they will dwell on things. They will dwell on it, and they'll remind you of like they can't let things go. Like in life, especially this time around, you gotta be able to take some things out and let it, because once you let it consume you, that's a part of your brain hating somebody that don't even know that you're hating them. They don't care because they're moving on with their life. But you're sitting there hating somebody that don't care about you, but it consumes a part of you. So you can't fully function if you have somebody else's burden on you. So some people in life they just don't like. I look at a lot of things, like even stuff that I was taught by my grandparents and stuff like that. I look at it and I say, I'm not going to do that because some of the stuff that those people used to say back then is to suit them for that. You know what I mean?
It's 10 o'clock.
And you can't be walking around cussing out people and, not talking to people. And, you know, it's crazy. Yo. You have to look and evaluate some stuff and, bring your life to a point where it suits you and you're not living for, not to say your parents didn't do a good job, but you're not living for them because you're living your life now. You know what I mean? And you're living for your kids. So you're teaching them stuff. Some things are going to be good and some is going to be bad, but you have to just look at everything and throw the rest of it, because whatever you think, that's what you do. So they could teach you some stuff and you're holding on to it and it's just holding you back because that's what I think. You know what I mean? I am not going up there because my mother said, when like people have some saying like, "Oh well, me now I'll get the job because when we walk outside, me see a dog run across the road."
Mm.
You get what I'm saying to you? Yo? Some people like it's very superstitious like that. They will hold on to some stuff because that's what they know. But look at it. Yo, if somebody tell me that and 100 dog could have run across the road, me I go look the damn job. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna make a dog or something or anything stop me from go doing that. So some people, they are the one who holds them their self back. It's not nobody holding you back, but what they will do, they will blame other people for not helping them, but they don't try to take themselves out of that rut. So you can see that they're doing stuff, so you can even help them. The negative, the negativity is just like overwhelming sometimes, but force you to do some stuff in your life to make yourself better if you just like, look at yourself and blame yourself sometimes. Blame yourself for some stuff that you know you do wrong because you can't be right all the time. Blame yourself for some stuff and say, you know what, I was wrong, you know? But you have some people, they're right all the time, no matter what happened. You would point out to them that they're wrong and they'll be like, no, I know I'm wrong, but you know what I mean? I know I'm wrong, but guess what? No, because they have to be right. You know what I mean? But
And to add to what you're saying, um, what about this? Because I've been running my basketball program for years, and even though it's a basketball program, I was able to learn a lot about different families. And not that these the families that are close to me,
mm-hmm.
I learn a lot about them. But as far as strangers that came to my program that, still became a little close to me as well, but not as much as the six founding players' families, you know. But I also realized that our own culture,
Mm-hmm.
like you just mentioned, no matter what that they bring their children to you for your expertise, they still try to override your expertise. Is like if you tell your kid or their kid, hey, I want you to shoot the ball like this. And you tell the parent and the kid, be patient and just make sure you do it just the same way I'm telling you, because in about 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to see the difference. The parent, being from the island and being stubborn, might have taught that kid a certain thing. And once the kid leave the coach and go home, they're going to revert right back to what the parents was teaching them, no matter even if they brought that kid to someone else to better that kid. They knew what they're teaching them was wrong, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're bringing the kid to get the right thing, and they still go back to the wrong thing when
Yes.
they get home because they revert. You know why they revert? Because they're not getting that instant success. But when you're retooling something old and trying to get something new, it's going to take time. So if you're not listening to the fact that I said it's going to be a month or 2 weeks, and you do it for like a couple hours and or a couple days, and you see, hey man, I want instant success, that's not working, and then
Yeah.
revert right back, and the parents co-sign that stuff. So then when
Mm-hmm.
kids come back to me, I'm always having to go over the same thing over and over, almost like talking to your kids when you're saying, hey, do this, do that, and they just keep not doing it, and you just get mad, and you just like an ongoing thing. It's like you're just
Mm-hmm.
talking just to talk. That's what you know people are doing to each other, and I know our culture does that a lot. you know
Yes.
our culture is like having your own kids. When you have your own kids, it's hard to talk to them.
Yeah.
Not all. It's for those who have their kids listening all the way, that's that's great, because there's a lot of great parents out there who gets it, and when they talk to their kids get it. But there's a lot that doesn't listen to their parents, and that's unfortunate. And a lot of
Yeah.
times those who's not listening to their parents is because their parents not listening either.
Mm-hmm.
So the apple usually don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah.
But kudos to those parents who the kids are listening to. But a lot of times, man, our culture means a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's equal to talking to your kids, and your kids are just not listening, and you're going to keep trying and keep trying. So we kind of see our culture as something we love. We love our culture. So we don't want to see us trying to show somebody how to get ahead in life, and it's like they don't want to hear you. They just want to see their way.
Yeah.
It's like the highway in Jamaica. I always look at it like this. They say that the jobs is being given,
Mm,
to the Chinese, for the Chinese to come and work and get things done, and that they should be giving it, to our own, so they can have the jobs. But when you look at it, and it's not everybody, but when you look at it, I've given jobs to many of my own kind. And do they work? More times than none, they don't. They sit
mm,
on the sideline and
mhm.
they work last minute.
Yes.
They always, most, not going to say all, a lot of us play catch up,
Mhm.
because we have to always stop and talk to somebody while we're working.
Yes.
A lot of us do it.
A lot of excuse.
And they make excuse too about, why they didn't finish. And that goes for everyone. That goes for anyone. We're all human beings and all human beings do it. But when
Mm,
you are a certain culture and you want to see your culture do good, and you're constantly like, hey man, can we just get the job done? And they just don't want to get the job done until they're ready. That's not good. Because when you're running a company, if I own a company and I have my workers want to work when they want to work, it's going to be like a revolving door. I'm going to get some other people.
yeah, because you have deadline to be met.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of
then
people,
you got the
what,
Chinese.
yeah, what I realize with some people, they they don't know anything about running companies, or they don't look and see. They're always counting stuff. They're always counting your money, or they will think they know stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Even stealing from a company or from a person that's working for you. You don't know. At the end of the day, you have to balance everything, balance your money. You know what I mean? So you have to try and maintain what you have. And a lot of people just see some stuff and they think they know, be like, oh yeah, I have it. You have it. So because no, you can't look from the outside, because what is juggling a company is not easy. But some people think that, like even when um like I'll give you a couple examples. I've been through so much stuff where people just don't understand. And some people think that there's always a stigma behind certain things. Like people think when you have truck, you have money like that. You know what I mean? Because that's how people talk. And a lot of Jamaicans, what I realize, they tend to lie about how much money they make all the time. So they just think, oh, you have truck, you have enough money. You know what I mean? That's all they look at. They
Mhm.
don't look at like to maintain a truck. You know what I mean? To buy fuel, to do this, to do that. Plus, you have to pay yourself, pay insurance, pay all of that stuff. You know? A lot of people love, because if you do a load and the load play $3,000, the $3,000 is not coming to you. By the time you pull out everything out of that $3,000, what you left? You know
500.
what I mean? Exactly. So as person was sure, I check to somebody and be like, yo, we get a $3,000 check. But what I realize sometimes is more of a show off thing, to be showing somebody that you're making money. You know what I mean? But and then they don't understand, because if a person does walk up to somebody who don't know about trucking and show them, be like, yo, I got a $3,000 check here. You know, I think so. Well, they're not thinking like everything on the back end that you have to pay for. It doesn't go to you as the person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I remember enough time me run load and I'ma come home. And I remember one time I'm gonna go up Buffalo and come back. And when I came back, it was so hot outside. I'm coming down the highway, and I dropped the trailer and the truck dancing. So I'm gonna go back there. The heat open up one of the tires. You know what I mean? Like brand new tire, and it just open it up, but it's still intact.
Mhm.
When I come back, that's $600 out of the money when I just make. You know what I mean? Six bills. So you can imagine I went out there all the way to Buffalo and come back. And you blow a tire, and that's $600 right there. And you have to do it, because guess what? if you don't do it, the truck can't move again.
You need the truck.
You know what I mean? One year, I what was it? One of them year when the fuel price was like almost $5 a gallon for fuel, right? And that year I made like about, I think it was like mostly like 300 grand or close to 300, right? And that same year I spent a lot of money on the truck. I refurbished it, I did a lot of stuff. And because the next thing is it with taxes, if you don't spend the money, you pay more money back in tax. It's one of the most ridiculous things, because that's the reason why when you're poor and you own a business, it's like you pay more in tax than people that has money. You know what I mean? Because you have to show, say, yeah, spend. But if you're spending out the money, how are you going to save it? Because you have to show that you're buying stuff enough so you don't pay a lot of tax. That's the craziest thing. So how can you grow as a company if you have to keep showing that you're spending money back into the business, maybe not to even grow it, but to maintain it? You know what I mean? But you can't save anything. That's the craziest thing. So I'm gonna file my taxes. My wife look at me and tell me, um, where's all of the money? Like, it's not in the account. The money is not in the account, you know. Dude, you see, when I show her like the fuel bill and all of them stuff, maintenance bill, like you say, money earned is not money saved. You earn it, but it's not money saved. You know what I mean? It looks good on paper, but when you spend and every time you're spending it, you're not really thinking about it, because you're spending it to maintain the business so you can keep going. You understand what I'm saying to you? So you're not thinking that, you know what I mean? You're just thinking to keep keeping the flow of money in. But the more it's coming in, the more you are, especially a business like that, because you're running a machine. So as something break, you have to fix it. You know, but with that said, a lot of people don't understand business, because they will look at you, and you must hear this sometime. A person will be in like certain kind of business, and you hear, boy, you have money, you know, right? But you don't know the person finance, because you see them and they have like a store or something. You're saying that, yeah, I have money because there's a lot of people in the store every time. That doesn't matter. There could be a lot of people in the store and they ain't buying nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's their way of looking at stuff. They look at things and see, like, if you even have a nice looking house, you know what I mean, a decent house, and it's better than theirs. Boy, the man also look good in them, have money. You know what I mean? It's like they associate it with a lot of stupid things that don't make no sense. You know what I mean? So you don't know, when people have stuff, they have to work that much harder to keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that thing where, you know, certain things that people say is crazy. They don't look at things and you know, from a business perspective. Like people like me and you who run business know what it's like to struggle, and you know what I mean? Make it work, because you don't want your business fail. You don't want it fail, you know what I mean? Because I don't like working for people. I couldn't tell when last I worked for somebody else. Trust me. It's been years. I don't like
I'm
working.
taking notes. Yeah, I'm taking notes as you're talking about that. I'm taking notes so I can come back, because
Yeah.
because as you're speaking about those things, again, it's literacy. So
Yes.
that's why I don't mind coming on here with you, because we both run business and we both have different perspective on what we've done to run our businesses. You know, I learn a lot from, you know, my lawyer and my president of my organization. So I implement those things in my life, especially now that I'm investing in the stock market. I take that business strategy of how I ran my business and I'm implementing it with the money that I'm making, watching my stocks grow. So I'm gonna go over, you know, based off of what I wrote down, based off of what you said. So you said that sometimes, you know, when you go to work and you know, you may show someone that $3,000 check, and you know, you'll blow out a tire. and bam, $600 is gone just like that. And at the end of the day, that $3,000 that you got, it's either it paid for something unexpectedly, or it paid for things that was expected, but it's going somewhere, because the government or the tax people, they want to see, the IRS wants to see, that you're spending back, like you said, but there's ways around all of that because the system is actually set up to benefit us, but sometimes we don't use the system to our benefits. And this is the literacy that people need to, you know, learn, and I'm going to run over it. So let's just say it costs $50,000 to run your business. You want to lay out for that year that it costs $50,000 to run your business. So now are you thinking about just that year? No. What is your plan? Do you have a long-term plan and a short-term plan? Short term, you may say, okay, in 2 years, this is where I want to be. And in 5 years, this is where I want to be. But every year that business is costing you $50,000. That includes tire blowing out. That includes anything that comes up that's unnecessary. You have to factor in all of that. So even though the IRS wants to see you spend money, some people really, a good planner, go out of their way to plan out your business and say you have to plan for if something really happened, you're going to need extra money to be able to do that. So when you're saying your business costs $50,000 to run, it probably really costs 25, and all you did was you doubled it based off of emergencies that might come up. So that is good planning. So now you say, okay, I got a 5-year plan. It costs $50,000 to run my business every year. So now what you're going to do is you're going to try to accumulate $25,000 for the next 5 years. So now when emergencies or anything, or bills or anything just arise out of nowhere, it's like that money is already there. So I'm glad you brought that up, because these companies that we're investing in, when we're buying stocks in them, they're all in debt. They're all in debt. There's a reason why they have debt. So when you look at the reason why these companies have debt, if it costs $50,000 to run your company every year, and you have a 5-year plan, you're gonna need 25 grand. So where are you getting 25 grand from? You're borrowing it.
Yes.
For the next 5 years, you're borrowing it.
You're hitting some good points,
Yeah, because what I'm telling you said, a lot of people don't think about this. A lot of people just live for just now or for that year. So if it costs $50,000 to run your business, a lot of people is just getting in $50,000 and that's it. When emergencies come up, you don't have no extra money. So what I'm saying that I learned from my business is if it costs $50,000 to run your business, it's usually about 25,000. It's usually half of what you're saying that it costs to run your business. So the extra money is for emergency reasons. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Extra money is for when your tire blow out, like you mentioned, is extra because you have to plan for that. So you borrow that money. So every company that we're investing in, they all have debt. There's a reason why they have debt. They could have 25 grand sitting in their account. If you research the companies that you're investing in, you'll realize that they have money, but they're not using it. They're using the bank's money.
They're using somebody else's
money. So that's kind of like how you have to look at it. So yeah, people do show what they make to show off and things like that. And they're not planning wisely.
To be honest with you, the reason why I'm kind of staying away from trucking, because trucking, it's a up and down business. It's a seasonal, like everything have its season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the overhead can be crazy at times because you could spend $20,000 today on your truck. Because you cannot go down the road with a load and all of a sudden, bow, something pop, way up, blow a engine, blow a transmission. You know what I mean? It's the amount that you have to spend at any given time, like a person will have a business, like it's a different kind of business when you do trucking. You will have a business and your overhead is kind of set a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Like even restaurants, every business run different, you know? Um, with trucking, are any business that you're running like machinery and stuff like that, if you break something that you really need to do your job, you know what I mean? It can be very costly, you know? So that kind of business it's a weird kind of business where you make the money, but sometimes you spend out more than you're really bringing in. You get what I'm saying to you?
But that's where you map out your plan and you make sure everything that you just mentioned is covered in that.
Yeah,
Because
but
you
listen to
go,
this though. What I'm saying to you, even if you map out a plan, right? You can map that plan out. And when you map it out, something will change it dramatically because there's so much pieces that make that puzzle up. It's a very hard business. You know what I mean? It's a very hard business because then now, based on even pulling a load, you will have like certain peak time where the fuel price is up, right? But the loads are not paying as much to cover your fuel. So you have to go further, spend more money to accumulate that costing. So basically now you'll be, as you say, you set that plan up that you're talking about. You have to dip into that plan premature to go in there to get stuff out of it because it's not running the way it's supposed to run. You know what I mean? Certain like different parts of trucking run different. Like even dump trucks and stuff like that is seasonal. And if you have like certain contracts, it's different. But when you have to run loads and book with load brokers and stuff like that, it kind of kills you in a certain kind of way because you will pull a load, go somewhere, and you'll be sitting there like 2 days waiting for another load to come back. That's wasted days that you could be accumulating money. And then you're paying yourself, but you're not getting paid from the company. You get what I'm saying to you?
mm,
Yeah, but it's a tough business, but every business is different because I do like other businesses and you have to really look what I would rather go drive for somebody now than own a truck right now, the way or the system set up. You get what I'm saying to you? Because when you look at what's going on out there now, these companies are paying very good for drivers. You know what I mean? They're paying very good for drivers. And then now, once I come in and I throw the key, give them, I don't have to worry about no busted tires. I don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to go about my business. So you have to see in life, you might love, like a lot of people tell me about, oh, why you don't own no truck anymore? Trucking is in your blood. Trucking is in my damn blood. It's a business. That's what they look at. Oh, trucking is in your blood. No, it's not in your blood. Yeah, you grew up around trucks and doing trucks, but it's not in your blood. It's a business. Once you start do you curse?
not really.
All right. Once you start I don't curse, but once you start effing yourself, right? You start telling yourself stuff. You're believing things that you're telling yourself that trucking is in your blood. I have to have a truck, even if it's killing you. I know this dude. He used to run for what's that company name down anyway? It's furniture company. I forgot what the name of it. He used to have like 30 trucks, dude. And used to when everything crashed, he lost every single one of them because what happened is when your business is going down, people think say, oh, it's gonna bounce back. Like you keep holding on to it, be like, it's gonna bounce back. You say, all right, let me give it like a couple months, right? And then no, it keep pulling you down, pulling you until you end up don't have anything. So you have to look at certain things, as you said, with even the stocks. Prime example, you have to do your research and see what's coming down the pipe, what's coming at you for you to make that decision whether I should buy more or stay in it or get out. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't look at things or even watch the news or read the newspaper or go online and see what's coming next so they can, you know, steer your business in a certain way before certain regulations or some rules pass or the fuel price is going up. A lot of people don't do that. They just go by, turn the key every day, jump in it, and I'm gone. But I learned that you really need to look at what's coming so you can make the choices them to make sure that your business stay afloat, because if you don't do that, man, trust me, it can be dreadful. 2008, 2009, I lost everything, but I still had my trucks. You know what I mean? I had this company that owed me thousands of dollars and they went out of business and I didn't get paid. So I had to go work for somebody else. And then when I work enough money, I came back, register my stuff, and went back on the road again. You know what I mean? But business, business failing and having success in business taught me a lot. And then now, with that now, I can apply it to other things and look for things, you know what I mean, before it start happening. I can see it coming, so I know how to structure myself to, you know what I mean, to move around and shift around so I can make everything prosperous. But what you say with the prime example, just do your research. Even with the stocks them is saying, because once you do your research, you can't just even with you say it yourself. If you tell me something, I should do my own research. You know what I mean? Because everybody mind think different. So you might tell me something and you're thinking about it a certain kind of way, and I go and do my research and I'll get something totally different from that, you know? But
Yeah. Well,
mm,
I mean, any business you do out there, the personal kind of got to stay out of it, because
mm,
that's one thing I learned about running a business. Personally, I was making mistakes when I started my business. Then I learned from my lawyer, that you can't do that. Certain things you're going to have to change. So, as I was saying about with, like having a short term and a long term plan, I use my business, for instance, now, Savant's Academy. That business will always be ready to restart. One of the reasons why it will always be ready to restart is because we'll never be in the hole, because it was structured that way
yeah.
to never be in the hole. So when I'm telling you that if it costs $50,000 to run your business for the year and you need 25,000 over the next 5 years to make sure you know that your business is at least going to be in business for 5 years. If you want your business to be in business for 10 years, then within that 5 year plan, in year two, start planning for the next 5 years, which is equal to 10, and so
Mhm,
on and so on. Don't wait until your 5 years is done to start
mhm.
over again. You have to plan along the way.
Yes, yep.
So that's what I'm saying is like when you're putting a business together, in order for it to strive, so you don't worry about if a tire blew out or if you have to go and get unnecessary money and you got thrown off your plan. None of that really gonna matter when you're planning way in advance, way in advance. Let me say it again. If it costs $50,000 to run your business per year and you have a 5 year plan, that's 25 grand. And within the second year, before the 5 year come, in the second year, you begin to plan for the next 5 years. So now you're 10 years. In actuality, you're 9 years ahead.
Mhm.
You're 9 years looking out. And by the time you're in like your third year, you're another 5 years ahead.
Yep.
So you're not waiting until the fifth year to plan. So that I learned. And when you do stuff like that, unnecessary things that come up doesn't really affect
Yeah.
the business, because remember, if it costs 25 grand to run your business,
Mhm.
the IRS is telling you that you need to spend in your program. My program runs the same way. I have to spend money. If you give me $50,000, guess what I have to do with it? I got to spend it. I can't keep it. I got to give it out, whether I hire somebody to pay or something. Let's just say I said it's $50,000 to run my business for the year.
Mm.
My reserve funds is 25 grand because why? It costs really 25 grand to run the program, but the extra 25 grand is just there for reserve funds,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, should structure their business this way,
Yep.
and it's financial literacy.
Hmm.
And I'm putting that out there, that you have to plan in advance. You have
Yeah.
to plan in advance. Just listen to the breakdown that I just gave. 5 year plan. And
Mhm.
within the second year, start your next 5 year plan after that. Within the third year, start your next 5 year plan. So every year you're actually planning out.
Yeah. The
And you're
thing
in
is,
business for a long time because you're planning out. And as I stated about my organization, which is the basketball program, I'm no longer being paid for it. Why?
mhm,
Because guess what? The money not here. They're
mhm,
not paying me unnecessary money. COVID hit and they said, and even though it's my organization, we got members that say we can't pay you.
mhm.
Got to put people in place that'll shut you down. So
Yeah.
even the owner of the business has people that's going to shut them down. It's no
Yeah.
different than the president having to answer to the Congress. So if you don't have these things in place, if I'm running around managing my business on my own and doing what I want, guess what? I'm going to make a lot of mistakes because it's in my hands. I'm just going to be winging it. What I need $20,000. Oh, let me go get it. What I need $10,000. Something came up. Up, let me go get it. And before you know it, that 25 grand that you borrowed
Mhm.
is no longer in your hands.
Yep.
So you know what my organization do? I know it's your organization, Savon, but you can't touch that money. You got to have police and the police.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I, the thing is, I've learned anything I go into, I learn. I even used to have car hauler. Them things are all cars on the highway. I used to have those, and I learned a lot about business by doing some stuff, and a lot of you make a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? Because um, especially, and then sometimes you have to really make those mistakes to see it makes you stronger. You know, because I've done some stuff, man. Where God, man, I tell you, like sometimes I wish that I could just go home. You know what I mean? Like I'm out there and I'm like, damn, I want to go home, but you can't go home. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to fail. But I always set up myself where even when I start the first business, I have like enough money to run me for like a whole year. You know what I mean? Because I never, my thing is that I don't like to ask people for stuff, and I always set up myself. Even if I have to work and start it, not to fail, that's what I want to do. You know, but I have people that comes come to me. Like I even had a friend of mine that bought a truck recently and he told me how much money he have. I say, yo, listen to me. Don't take your one money and go start that business because you're gonna need backup money. You know what I mean? And he didn't listen. He didn't listen. He went to go buy a truck and then now, he started paying money out before he even start running the truck. You know what I mean? And he's calling me and telling me stuff. And I said, dude, I told you, like, you know, he was working for a company. And I said to him, yo, just keep working for that company. And you know what I mean? Until you get to like where you have enough money can run your business for a while, right? No, no, no. You go buy a truck. The truck is sitting and you have to pay insurance on it. Can't get his registration because everything with COVID happened. Registration is taking like a month to come back, right? The insurance was like what? I think like 10 grand for the month, right? So I said to him, no, my bad, I'm lying. No, it was $12,000 for the year, and you have to pay, I think $1,000 a month, something like that, right? And he's complaining. I said, dude, this is what I tell you. Then he's saying that he now have enough money. I said, yo, you should have just, if he had worked for like another month or two, you would have enough money to run you for a while. But what I realized, as I say, when a lot of people just make their mind up and they don't understand business, then there's nothing you can tell them. You know what I mean? Even though you have the experience, sometimes they just have to see it for themselves, you know? And I told him, and he went out and did it. And basically I had to help him out. But I tell him, next time if I have the experience and you're calling me asking me a question about something, you know, if you're not gonna do what I am saying, then don't call me and ask me for me to help you because I have that experience. But you're not asking me for advice and then you're going out and doing it by yourself. I have to be funding you. So if I'm gonna take my money to fund you, then you have to listen to what I'm saying because I already been through that, and it would be vice versa. If I'm going into something and somebody who been in it know about it more than me, I'm going to listen to what they have to offer because they have the experience. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, all right, I'm going to do this regardless of what this person said. No, because they've been through it and they have the experience of going through that situation. So you can learn from them. You know what I mean? But some people, no matter what you do, you can't tell them nothing because they make their mind up. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what it is. But
Well, that's 85% of the population.
you keep saying 85%, I'm gonna believe it. Trust me.
Listen, I work with children, and it gives me a good observation of what people are like. And not only do I work with children, I talk to people. Even with the job I'm doing now, I'm constantly meeting people. And 85% of people are similar. They're doing the same mistake over and over. And it seems like a very high percentage because it is. If you go talk to 10 people, you'll realize that 8 or 7 of them is saying similar things. I'll even go as far as saying 7 or 8 people, when you're talking to them, they will not even listen. They will talk right over you.
Yeah.
Just that example alone is going to show you that majority people, which is 85% of the population, can be easily fooled. Again, I use another example. Put on your mask. You can start that today. Put on your mask. And not, I would say 7 or 8 out of 10 people is going to fight you to not put it on. 2 people will put it on. They're going to listen. They will put it on. What? Why do I need to put it on? Huh? Something happening? Whoop. 2 people. 7 or 8 people is going to be like, me not put on the mask. What for? I'm telling you, go take a survey and you'll see that it's going to happen like that. And then later on in life, or a couple months, not even a couple months, couple days later, couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, takes 3 weeks to form a good or a bad habit. So let's use 3 weeks. So 3 weeks after, when those two people been had on their mask, you're gonna now see everybody wearing their mask because finally they get it. And there's still gonna be a few that probably ain't gonna wear it. But
Yeah.
finally they get it and they gonna put it on after they finally get what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's the world. That's the world.
Right.
85% of people operates this way, where
I
they're
used,
either not listening right away, or they're not listening at all, or there is something that they're not doing that is not beneficial to them. 85%. 85. I'm telling you that's pretty dangerous to know that if you
it's sad
walk
to say,
inside, huh?
yeah, it's sad to say that. You know, I used to think like, even at a younger age, I wanted to save everybody, like save the world. But a lot of people don't want to be saved, and a lot of people just live to live for today, you know. And when you think about it, like everybody just want to be right, you know what I mean? Everybody want to be the first to do certain things, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm the first one to do this. I'm the first one to do that. You know, like it's what's going on the internet now. Everybody want likes. You know what I mean? They do stupid thing to get likes. Like, why is so important to get likes? You see how much likes I get? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's crazy where you look at like even grown people now are sometimes worse than kids. You know what I mean? The stuff that they do is worse than friggin' kids. It's like, and when you see the grown-ups that's supposed to be leading and teaching kids, and they're worse than kids, then guess what? Kids are teaching themselves. You know what I mean? So this is where you gotta look. You know, I told my daughter last night, I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna say, oh, listen to me. You know, more like when she was going to school regular, she wasn't on her phone that much. And lately, me see her upon it. So I'm gonna say, yo, you know what? Um, at some point, we're gonna have a talk about this because you're not gonna be one of them kids that's sitting on the phone all the time, you know, because she never used to be on it when she was going to school, you know.
Mm,
Because the only thing I got her phone for was when she come home. She do basketball too. She's pretty good too, you know.
nice.
Yeah, she's very like she she do soccer. Um, she do basketball. She do track and field too. Her mom used to be a track star for Connecticut, right? And she came up and she's doing the same thing. And that kid, even with the basketball, she was playing in school, you know what I mean? Like, you know, in school playing, and then she come home one day and be like, oh, I want to go on this basketball team. I mean, I say, sure, she want to. Yo, I'm gonna watch her play, man. It's like, you know, you can imagine your kid practicing all the time at school and at the playground, and you don't know how good they are until you really see them play, you know. It's
Mm,
like a different thing, you know.
yeah.
Anything when she touches, even with soccer, she was a goalie in soccer because what I did when my sister in New Jersey kid play soccer, right? So I drop her down there to spend some time with them. And all of her kids play soccer. So one of them, they play goalie, so they wanted to come out of the goal. So they call me the next and they be like, Uncle Andrew, can you come down? Melania have a game. I'm saying Melania have a game. Melania don't live in Jersey. You know what I mean? She just spending a week down there. You know what the kids them do? They call their coach
Mhm.
and convince him to let her play, right? So now we got a game. You know that kid diving at ball, saving ball, like picking it out of the air, like somebody would never what they did, they play with her for that whole week and teach her some stuff, and she just get it just like that.
Mm.
1 year, she didn't have no goal score against her. So she get a goal. But I had to drive from here to Jersey every Sunday. You know what I mean? It's a good drive. You know, drive every Sunday. I have to drive down there. But it was exciting because when you watch them play, you know what I mean? And that's something. But she came back up here and she was playing for her school and she got kicked in the head. She went to go save a ball. And when she went down and get the ball, then the girl kicked the ball and kicked her in the side of her head. And then she passed out. From that time, she gets scared. She don't want to play no more soccer anymore. But basketball is her thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just try to support her, you know, anything like I don't care where I have to drive to bring her to those games, I bring her, you know what I mean? So she can feel and have that confidence that I'm with her with that, you know?
Yeah. You need to definitely do that for your children, you know?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, man. Well, we've been on for a while, man. So
No.
I'm gonna
Yo,
wrap
you know what
up.
time go by quick. It's a long time still, you know, but but I understand the talk was good. It's about literacy, you know what I mean? Financial, and not just financial only. And I think when you're illiterate, period, it goes into your financial, you make you financially illiterate. You know what I mean? You know?
Definitely.
So
Anytime you're educating yourself, whether it's reading a book, on sports, whether it's
mm,
reading a book on history, and anything that you are educating yourself on can affect other areas, also improve in other areas.
yeah. So thing is it like we just have to just keep doing what we're doing and teach who those who want to get, want to learn stuff and help as much as we can help, but we have to really help ourselves before we can help nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
definitely. The goal that I want to accomplish with our group is to be able to just come on here. And, I definitely would like it to be 45 minutes when, those guys come on. But there's going to be times when, like what we're doing now, where we just come on here and we'll just kick it, we'll just talk, But when the show is actually structured, I would like it to be 45 minutes where we all just get some really good points out and we're teaching, the financial literacy because it's needed. It's like I talked about before where I said 85% of the population, they are basically just not really listening first, 85% it's a high number. But in order to bring that number down, we have to not really attack the problem, but have a solution to the problem. And my solution to the problem is, even though I know that 85% of people is just not getting it, I did say to you that if you go talk to 10 people, 7 or 8 of them is gonna give you similar answers, or they're not going to listen, or whatever it may be that most people have going against them, it's going to go against them when you survey them. But sometimes it takes the approach. So there's times when I'm speaking to someone, and let's just say I will go to survey 10 people. The first person I speak to, I may use an approach that gets them to respond in a good way. Now they're not showing me their selves that maybe when they're at home or maybe when they're in a certain situation, they'll lash out. So I can get the best out of people initially because of the approach. Let's just say I went to 10 people and I asked them, I say, hey, do me a favor. Um, Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would say 9 or maybe 8
Mhm.
will do it, because of my approach. But then you'll find that some people won't get that done. Why? Because their approach to those people is just not right. And those people are going to react in a way like, why are you coming up to me?
Yeah, yeah,
You're a stranger. Huh? Who are you talking to?
yeah. Hmm.
But I don't get those type of approach when I do things because I look at the person that I'm approaching, or maybe the person is approaching me. Because you'd be surprised how people approach me, and I don't usually have to approach people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like my basketball program. Most people approach me to train their kids.
Mhm.
I don't approach them to train their kids. So let's just say I'm promoting this channel right here, like we are. Based off of the good information that we're going to give out and people hearing, people are going to come to us and want to know what we got going on. If
Yeah.
we're having success, people are going to come to us, and sometimes that's the best way to promote what you're doing is to have people reach out to you to want to be part of what you have going on. So, with that being said, man, we're going to wrap this thing up.
By the way, remember I tell you about that thing I'm working on to launch?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do a soft launch like one of these weekends. Everybody, um, come in, let's set up the time and date. One thing I want to ask you about too, like I think I don't know if you could like everybody who you got linked up with on here, if you can maybe do like a little thing where you can send out and like figure out what's the best time for them to be on. You know what I mean? So maybe we can like if everybody give you a time, you can kind of schedule it around their time so we can all, you know what I mean, or what day of the week is better for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can figure out a way or to put something out there to everybody that who you know log on or being a part of this thing, maybe you can schedule it where you can get a lot of them at a certain time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or certain days of the week, you know? Then we can invite other people. Like we figure out like a schedule where basically kind of suit everybody in a certain way where, we can get more people on and see if that work for everybody else, you know?
And this is for,
Hmm?
and this is to
No,
do.
no. I'm talking about what we're doing right now on here, on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try what I'm saying to you, like put out something to because you have a list of couple people that you know that's coming on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so put it out there to see like it's like a survey basically to see like what is a good time for people to come on, you know what I mean, with you.
So we can lift up our attendance.
Yes, yes, you know what I mean? Like even with everybody that's already on here already, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? See like what their schedule is like they might like like a Sunday at certain time. That's when most people are free. Just get a time together so you can really, even if they come on for a little bit and then go off,
Mm-hmm.
then that's good. At least they're there for a little bit.
Well, I got a solution to what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
because I've done that plenty of times, and
Oh,
that's easy. So what
mm-hmm.
you do is, if we wanted to have quite a good audience on the YouTube, I think Sunday is a good day because I've done that already. I've done that type of research already. So
Mm-hmm.
Sunday people are trying to relax and go to work Monday. So Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Slash 9 p.m. is actually a good time if you took us
Yes, because the Monday now it's stuck there, right?
that too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, not too.
Okay.
But most people are relaxing. They
Mm-hmm.
want to be off the street by then. So if you're gonna
Yeah.
plan anything,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good time frame.
Yeah.
And
Because
only want to hold them for the 45 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Gotta go
We
sleep.
do, yeah, we do because what we have to do then, And then you know what too? It depends how much people are on there. So what we have to do is maybe split the time up very evenly against everybody that want to come in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Make sure everybody get like a fair share of voicing their opinion. They might not use the whole time, but you know.
When you're doing something like that, it could be an hour, if
Mm-hmm,
depending on how many people is joining. It could be
mm-hmm,
from 9 to 10. It could be from 8 to 9. It can go for an hour instead of 45 minutes if you're having that amount of people. So here's what I would like to do, being that you want to do something like that. We know Sunday is a good day for that. So
mm-hmm,
what I can do, that way, not just relying on one person, whoever you know, even
mm-hmm,
if you bring two people, everybody adds up. So if you bring 4 people with you, that's 5. Alan brings 4 people, that's 10. I bring 4 people, well, including ourselves, that's
mm-hmm.
15. Before you know it, we can have 50 people on here, but it all depends on all of us. We have to all do our part. That way, it's not one person just making it happen.
I'm
Uh,
gonna line it up.
I'll use this for example, and I'm getting a little tired. I'll use this as example. When I do my fundraisers for my organization, I set goals. So let's just say I set a goal of each player. If I have 15 players, or let's use 10, each player is responsible for raising $100. So if I have 10 players, that's $1,000. And each coach, if we have 5 of them, each coach is responsible for the same thing. And now we have $1,500 based off of $100.
Yeah, yeah.
$100 responsibility from 15 people turned into $1,500 instead of one person or 2 people getting $1,500, because everybody that's involved is chipping in.
Mm-hmm,
Now, if you cannot get $100, you have to pay that $100. So if I can't get 10 people to give me $10 to add up to $100, or 20 people to give me $5 each, or whatever people give me, somebody might give me $100 bill, but I have to accomplish the fact of getting $100, because the other people are going to do the same. And if I don't do my part, I'm going to feel left out, and I'm going to feel like
yeah.
I let down the team. So that's how we do our business. So now, in addition to me, who I'm the founder, you know what I do? I'm the one that say, okay, I need to bring in $100, but I lead by example.
11 o'clock.
I lead by example, and I go and I get $100 from 10 people. So now I have $1,000 when I was only supposed to bring in
Mm-hmm,
$100. So
mm-hmm,
now other people follow suit because they see Savon getting $1,000 instead of $100. And I'm
mm-hmm.
saying that to use it as example, to say, listen, if we want a lot of people on here, we each got to do our part, and that's it. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. So even if you bring 2 people, you know what I used to say to the kids that, hey, bring $100, and they come back to me and they say, you know what, coach, I only got $20.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to them, I said, okay, you get another chance. Go back to the drawing table and go get 80 more. And if you don't get 80 more, take the time off. So you put the pressure on them and said, listen, we all know somebody, and you're participating in an organization that's helping you. So maybe you should find the right approach of how to approach somebody, whether it's a family member, and you each got to pull your weight.
Yeah.
So it's simple. We all know somebody, so, and we're doing something that most people want to do, invest.
Yeah, trust me. I'm talking to a lot of people now. People that even I mentioned it to some people, they're like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to get into stocks for the longest." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all you hear now. Is like, yeah, but Mister, there's a way. So
All right,
I'm,
so here's what we're gonna do. We're each one person. So what we're gonna do, and you're gonna see how easy it's gonna work. For this coming Sunday, we're gonna set a goal of each of us responsible for bringing 4 other people. So that's 5. So I'll go over and I'll send a text out tomorrow and bring that to people and have each person bring 4 people. And before you know it, we'll have quite a few people here. And for each, we're gonna let them introduce their people. And
What we need to do, like for that now, then we're gonna have to maybe do that. Remember we spoke about the other day? We'll go back over that top. When was it? Sunday. Yeah, like as a introductory and a learning process for everybody new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, bring your 4 other people, and we each do that. And yeah, we'll definitely do that. We're gonna talk to them. Some people you could bring people that have the experience. You could bring people that don't. It's okay.
Because the more the better. If you can learn, you're always gonna learn stuff from somebody. You know what I mean? You're never gonna know everything, so that's good.
Yep, definitely. So that'll be the goal. I'll speak to Alan about it tomorrow. So we each can bring 4 other people, including ourselves. That's 5.
Yeah.
So that's the goal for this Sunday. But we'll be on here before Sunday. We'll try to come on, whether it's tomorrow. I think we were doing Tuesday. We kind of play it by ear. There's no set.
What's the set time for the week, during the week, I think 8:30?
During the week, I would say 8:30. I don't want to do too late. 8:30.
No.
9 o'clock.
And then finish like what time?
8:30 to 9:30.
1 hour, right?
Yeah, we set it for 1 hour. Try to finish between 45 minutes to that hour.
Yeah, Father. Yeah, that's good. Keep it nice and tight and sweet. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, respect. We'll link up. Let me tell you something, man. This time, it's funny how, like, this is something that I didn't take the time to do. I have the opportunity to do it. Because I know this dude, like, this dude used to get up. This Jewish dude live up in West Side further. He used to tell me, say, him go to work in his shorts. I'm going to say, what you talking about? He wake up early in the morning and he sat in front. When you see your basement set up, he got TVs down there. He got computer screen all around him. I mean, and from that time I was interested, but I was still working a lot. So, you know what I mean? The interest come and went. Him say by 12 o'clock, him done every day. 1 o'clock, he's done. And him go and play him golf because him trade him stocks them. And he trade in also other markets, like outside of the United States. So him do him thing and looking at what, like, that's how he make his money. Him say someday it's bad, it's really bad for him. And him say someday it's wonderful. You know what I mean? But seeing how people get success out of things like that, that's what, you know what I mean? And it's up to you, as hard as you want to go and as much as you want to put into it. That's what you're going to benefit from all of this. You know what I mean? And it's right here for the taking. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's there. But once you get your knowledge and you have the interest, you just go ahead and do it,
Yeah.
The sky is the limit.
Yes, sir.
So we'll link up.
Yeah, man. So if most likely Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm staying away from YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to get up like about 6 o'clock, so I'll get a good couple hours sleep.
All right, no problem. So most likely see you Wednesday.
Yeah, respect, yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
All right.